Pass the 40 pass the 40 cause my mother's not looking.
What's going on, everybody? Back with Past the 40. My guest today is Harmonie Krieger. Harm, how you doing?
I'm so good. It is so good to see you.
I know. It's great to finally get this together. We've been trying to do this for a while. You're like 48 now, I think. Nah.
Okay. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm 28. Always 28.
That's what I meant. I meant that. Where are you calling from?
I'm in Los Angeles, LA, California.
I have heard of it. We missed each other when I was there, and then you were in New York, and we missed each other here. So we're not doing a great job, but at least we have technology to bring us together.
Exactly. Next trip, though, for sure, because I got to take you a couple places in LA.
I don't know if I can hang anymore. It's been a long road since the days of growing up.
You got those dances. The one thing we always had in common was busting out on that dance floor. So I think it's still in you.
This is an amazing segue to the first question that I have for you today.
Nice.
All right, let's go. You feeling ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
I mean, this is as ready as I could be.
So you might have even already answered this, but the year is 2001 and you're out in the Hamptons and a great hip-hop song comes on. Who are you looking for to be your dance partner?
You.
You are off to an amazing start here. This is gonna go so well.
I don't even have to think about it because literally it's the guy in the room that throws up their hand like they are Biggie. Because that was every time. I'm just like, who's going like this? And it was you every time.
Yeah, I got
with
that.
A big smile on their face.
That I still have in me. I can do that, one night a month maybe.
Yeah, well, I know it's harder now that we're this age, right? But I would say like dancing was my thing. So the one thing out of the Hamptons, I will say, in 2001 and now at 2019 is always dance.
I definitely remember that about you because that was one of my favorite things to do as well. Going back even further, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Actually, I think I always wanted to be on TV. Like, not an actress, but I always wanted to interview people. So I wanted to be pretty much like an Oprah. Since a very young age. I was a connector. I loved having friends. I loved hearing what people said. And I think I loved hearing myself give advice as well and listening. So I think I always wanted to be a TV host.
And you have kind of led your life down that path, and there may be a podcast coming. We'll get into some of this in the next hour or so. How do you define unicorn? I've seen you describe yourself as a unicorn in multiple places. How do you define that?
Well, I think a unicorn is just somebody that goes off the beaten path. It's just someone that beats to their own drum, very unique characteristics, and just embraces everything about themselves, all the quirks and the things about them that they were born with that, they just embrace all of those qualities. And I try to live my life like that. And it's just funny because I will say, and I will add this in before I forget, for this birthday, my friends made me an adult unicorn birthday party, which I have not posted those photos, but they dressed me up in a unicorn outfit that was LED lights, and literally the entire room was unicorns and neon, and it was the best party I've ever had in my life. So I relived my childhood through this party when I turned 41.
Were you the only one dressed as a unicorn, or everybody was a unicorn?
Oh, everybody was a unicorn, but I had the craziest outfit that they got me. I'm talking 3 sets of ears, horns, the whole thing. It's kind of like if anybody knows what Burning Man is, and I've never been to Burning Man, it was my personal unicorn Burning Man outfit.
Where does this take place? Because I kind of want to schedule my own unicorn birthday for next year.
Oh, good. Actually, we went to Joshua Tree and we rented a cabin in Joshua Tree, which is epic, and they decorated the entire cabin in unicorn lights.
Yeah,
I played the sickest playlist, by the way, Chris. It was kind of like our Hamptons playlist all over again because I asked for old school hip hop.
You have some friends. I mean, I need to get some friends that will do this type of stuff for me. Tell me about the pop-up shop.
Yeah, cool. So, I mean, I've been an event planner really since I'm 12 years old. And I think hosting and event planning kind of went together because When I plan these events, I'm really on the whole time and talking to everybody. So I was working for a luxury lifestyle magazine out here called Angelino. Actually, in New York, it's called Manhattan Magazine. So I was working for them and I was planning all of their events. And then our clients just wanted to do pop-ups. And it was back in the day when Target started their pop-up shop. We had all those Halloween pop-ups. And it wasn't really a thing. but they wanted to do these temporary stores and sell out all of their inventory. So I'm like, you know what? I should just start my own pop-up shop company. So it's called Pop Your Shop, and I work with fashion, beauty, and lifestyle brands. And we pop up in like all different locations, and I'm sure you've seen a million in New York. They're all temporary stores, right?
So a brand comes to you and says, we want to do a pop-up, and then you kind of take it from there and make the event happen, find the space, and say, this is when we're going to do it, and this is what it's going to look like, and you kind of run it?
Yeah, so I'm basically
That's
like
awesome.
the agency. So I help them find the locations. I work with like commercial real estate agents. We take over the space, or even if it's an event, like we did one at Malibu Wines, and we took over the space and we popped up their brand, and I kind of create the concept for them, and then we outsource and hire everybody to kind of design it. We get influencers to host it. We sort of create that buzz around the product. It could be a launch or a product that they just kind of want to get the inventory rid of.
That's a really awesome niche to like just kind of take and run with. So you're clearly a very creative entrepreneur. How do you make time or cultivate time in your life to like focus on creativity? Do you have a habit or a ritual when creating?
I mean, I will admit this just because it's you and probably everyone else that's listening.
and the tens of millions of people.
I mean, my creativity, and I guess it's because I don't have children, so I can go to bed super late, but I come alive at like 2 a.m. I take half an Ambien to go to sleep because I can never sleep, and I'm on Amazon ordering stuff that I can like create these concepts with. It's nuts. Like my creativity really like sparks at night. Mm-hmm. So I like sit down, I write down what the concept is. I kind of come up with what I want to do to visualize how to like bring that brand alive. But it always sometimes happens between like 1 and 2 in the morning. It's kind of interesting.
Listen, everyone's got their thing. You can't, you can't bottle in this type of magic.
It's a unicorn. You're like night owl.
You got to let it happen when it happens. You can't control it.
Exactly.
If you could give a TED talk on any subject, what would it be?
So I think it's changed. I think today a TED talk for me would definitely be talking to women about their passion and going after it and really stepping into what they want to do with their life and not waiting. Because so many times I hear about women, especially my age and in this era, right, turning 40, they're really fearful of going after something new. So my TED talk would be like, there is absolutely no time for fear. And life is short as hell. As I've been noticing, really, I just lost somebody like 2 weeks ago. Somebody else I know passed away at like 47. No joke. So it's short. And I want to talk to women about really stepping into their purpose now and not waiting for something to come along.
Yeah, I mean, before this episode, we were talking offline about just starting, right? Like everything, no matter what you want to do, you just have to take that first step.
Like I even told you, I'm scared to start this this new era, right? But it's really just an extension of our creativity and what we already know how to do.
Totally. I mean, everybody is, everyone has some level of fear with everything they do. It's just overcoming and just be like ignoring it and just being like, all right, you move away and I'm just going to step through it anyway.
You said it so well because I just read this page that said if you face fear, literally, it will get out of your way. If you let it come in, it will just show up over and over. But if you face it, it'll get out of your way and you'll just take it on.
Very true.
So thank you for telling me to start because I'm about to.
Any way I could help. What are you most excited about right now?
I think it's going into this new sort of podcast video era that you're already doing. Mm-hmm. Because as a TV host, I had to wait to get the job. So I was a TV host for 5 years. I worked for ESPN, I worked for E, I worked for Style, and I had to audition and It didn't matter. I might not get the job because I'm blonde and not brunette. It didn't matter. It was nothing personal, but it was really about waiting for you to get the call. But now what I'm excited about is creating my own content.
Yes.
And really stepping into kind of what I know and what I also know women out there really want to hear at this age. And I'm super excited about diving into something brand new.
Yeah, that's the key. I mean, we control our own content and distribution of that content now, so we can kind of have the reins are off and go do what makes you feel right. Exactly.
And I do want to go a little off the cuff and bring in some shit that people aren't talking about and they're scared to talk about. So I don't want to go too far out because I want to bring in experts, but I want it to be a little sassy, like me.
If you ever need a male perspective on the female stuff that you're talking about, I'm available.
Oh, you're going to be my first guest.
What's a pet peeve of yours?
Pet peeve. I would say people that are inconsistent. I'm very like a woman of her word. I think when people say they're going to do something, they need to follow through. And I notice when people, oh yeah, I'm just going to, I'll show up then, or I'm going to do this, and they don't follow through. That is my number one pet peeve.
Yeah, you want to be able to rely on what somebody says. I'm with you.
Exactly.
What is something that's hanging on the wall in your home?
Oh God. A unicorn picture.
Is it really?
Actually, I think I have the LED costume. I'm not even going to show it to you right now. You're going to see white here. But I have like the LED unicorn costume hanging on my wall as a remembrance of I can do anything I want. And when I look at this thing, it makes me smile because it really empowers me. Like, yeah, I could do that. So that's what's hanging.
I need to see that after we're done.
A child, because my friends walked into my house and they were like, "Why is your entire apartment full of unicorns?" It's hilarious. I just keep getting more and more and more shit that's all unicorns. So I think it's a sign from the universe, Chris.
You're very on brand, clearly, and maybe there's a title for your podcast that.
And you know what? I don't have a title, so this is a good time to put it out there.
Yeah.
Anybody that can comment on what a great title for my podcast would be.
Maybe the unicorn theme leads you down the path to a title.
I love that. Okay. Creativity.
Brainstorm session next week offline. You wrote in your headlines that you're always ready to pound. Please explain.
I know it just definitely sounds sexual, which, there is some sexual innuendo to this workout, but it is a workout. But I've been teaching a workout called Pound Rockout Workout for about 5 years. It's so awesome. It's with drumsticks. So you basically take the drumsticks and pound on the floor to like intense music. It's full body, all cardio. So there are different tracks of music. So we have everything from hip hop to rock. And you're basically like super hardcore squatting while you're pounding your drumsticks to like intense music.
Do they have this in New York?
700 times. It's in New York too. So it's at all the Crunch gyms. Okay. But I've been teaching for about 5 years. It's in like almost every country now. There's about 3,000 pound instructors. So pounding is a thing. And it goes along with the hosting. It's like when I teach, I feel like I'm inspiring others to be the best version of themselves. They walk into that room. They're like, I had a shitty day. I want to get this out on the floor or out in this workout. And all of a sudden they take out their drumsticks and they're like pounding. Yeah. And their face just like lights up.
So, growing up, I played the drums. So I'm very interested in this workout. I gotta search for this in New York and go check one of these classes out.
I mean, the girls that created it like have done it like with Kelly Ripa and Oprah's pounded, like they all pounded. And it's funny because they actually created it with that like sort of sexual innuendo in there.
Sure.
So it's very interesting. All the tracks kind of have that little, spark to it.
I'm gonna Google where.
It's part of life, right? I mean, it's important.
Where can I pound?
Yeah, so you can pound at any crowd. But you can pound anywhere. Okay, you can pound in your house. It's fine.
Right. I'm thinking the search results in Google might not lead me to Crunch Gym.
You're gonna get some crazy videos that pop up.
What are some of your other favorite fitness routines? So that's obviously a big part of your day to day.
Yeah, so I'm sure, like Los Angeles, we are just all about obviously wellness, health and fitness, and quality of life. We're super healthy here because it's nice out. You're wearing less, right? It's like any other warm city. But two things, like actually something that's changed my life in the last year is hot yoga. There's a couple in New York, but actually the one that I go to, Hot 8, is going to open in New York. It has changed my entire life because not only has it changed my body, but it's really like the spirituality of it. You just tap out. It's so hot, but it's like a dry heat. So it's not like you're sweating, but you're not feeling like you're sweating if you're like, playing basketball or something. And
different from Bikram?
Oh yeah, it's very different. And I do like hot yoga sculpt. So it actually has some weights, but it's all cardio. And then you could do obviously different forms of hot yoga that are vinyasa and you kind of slow down. But really what I want to say, it's like a mental tap out. Like you go in there and you don't think about one thing in your day. And as you could tell, my brain never shuts off. That's the only thing that has helped me. And then, of course, hiking. I love hiking because I have a dog. So in LA, there's like the best hikes ever. So it's a lot. I mean, I think I do something pretty much active every day.
That's amazing. That's the lifestyle out there. And that's what we miss that over here.
I know.
What's your dog's name?
My dog's name is Clover. She is sassy and feisty, I think, just like me, but
just like
such a lover. Such a lover. Chris, personality like you've never seen a dog.
What kind of dog?
She's a terrier mix.
Nice.
So very playful, yeah.
Awesome.
But I live on a street called Cloverdale.
Okay.
And so I named her Clover.
Nice. What are you curious about?
I would say I'm curious about a lot of things these days. What I'm most curious about is entering this age, this like sort of like 40 and above, and what is in store for me, because my mentality is so different. In my 30s, I just kind of wanted to go, career. And now I'm trying to like slow down and really do what I'm passionate about. So I think I'm curious as to like where that path will lead me. Because I've wanted to change a couple things in my life over the last like few years that I've stalled. I procrastinated. Mm-hmm. And I'm really curious about what the next 3 to 5 years have in store.
As am I. What is a great piece of advice that somebody gave you that has really stuck with you through the years?
I would say everything's going to be okay, and to breathe. I don't think I've breathed in like 10 years. I'm serious. Like, I don't like stop to breathe. And someone was like, if you don't breathe, you're going to miss all the beauty of what you're creating around you. And so now, like, my mentality of really turning this age, I bought a meditation cushion and asked me if I used it once yet. No, I haven't. But it was to help me breathe.
One step at a time. First, buy the cushion. Next step, sit down on it, and then eventually you'll actually take a breath.
Yeah, but you know what? That everything's just not that serious. That's the thing. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, yeah. It's not, now one thing is so crazy that it should get you like all riled up.
Certainly words to live by, harder to practice, to put into effect for sure. But it's something very important in my life too. The breath is very, very powerful. Right.
And which is what hot yoga taught me, to breathe.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that's why it also changed my life.
One of the things I'm doing right now is, I don't know if you're familiar with Wim Hof, the Iceman. I'm doing this Wim Hof method, and it's partial breath work and partial cold therapy, like freezing cold showers and ice baths and that whole thing. But like,
is that cryo, like the cryo stuff?
I've done cryotherapy. It's different because like it's a 10-week online course that I'm in the middle of right now, and like every day is like 20 minutes of breath work, and then you take a shower, and there's like this week I'm on week 3. It's 1 minute freezing cold, then take your normal hot as long as you want, then end with a minute freezing cold. And like, so up at like week 8, it'll be like 10-minute freezing cold showers. And I did like a training session like a couple months ago where I got like in a 35-degree ice bath. Like anyway, my point in bringing it up was one of his slogans is "Breathe, motherfucker."
I love it.
You should look him up after we're done, because he's just.
Oh my God, I don't think you could see this, but this little bracelet that my mom bought me says "breathe."
I see it.
Every time I'm feeling that moment, I look down like that. I don't know if I could do the cold shower because I like them. I like my showers so hot to the point where I burn my skin. Like literally, I'll be like, "What is that burn?" I'm like, I like it like scorching hot. But they say the cold shower brings out a different energy in your body and your mindset.
So you can burn your skin from the cold too. When it's freezing, it burns and it's like numb. It's amazing. And yes, the way that I feel stepping out of a freezing cold shower, it's just like adrenaline, like ready to attack anything. It's an amazing shot of something in your body, and there's long-term benefits of like it fights depression, it helps fat cells. There's like tons. Google everyone who's listening. Check out Wim Hof and the Wim Hof method afterwards. He's like a superhuman.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
I have to get in along with my meditation cushion. I have so many things to do.
A lot of things.
You've taught me like 17 things in the last
Stick with me, kid. I got you here. What is something that you've tried that you will never try again?
Oh my God. Oh, an edible.
Didn't go well.
Edibles.
Didn't go well.
You don't know how much is in each of them.
That's
okay,
very
so
true.
I took one. I've never taken one. I took one. You would think I went to college and have tried this, but I didn't. And I took one on the beach in Santa Monica where there's a concert going on, and it was a Jolly Rancher. And my friend and everyone took a half, and my friend's like, "Don't worry, you have a high tolerance. You could take a whole one." Well, I turned green.
Why would you have a high tolerance if you've never taken one?
I could handle it. Meanwhile, I'm like, what? Like, I'm like 105 pounds, like 5'3", and I literally turned green. And my friend was like, I think my heart was beating at the, I could not function. I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital. It lasted for 20 hours until I wasn't high anymore. And so I will never, ever in my life take another edible if somebody forced it down. I mean, I can't even tell you like how I feel about edibles.
Okay, so I'm going to blame your friend, not the actual candy, and I will say that now this whole industry is regulated that you can walk into MedMen on down the block and like
right near my house.
you can get like a tiny 2.5 milligram mint and like eat that and it'll like just really almost do nothing. It's like a like a light Percocet, like that and a glass of wine like would be a nice way to like relax into sleep. So I would say don't shut this out of your life because it's part of the culture.
In California, we're walking around, we have CBD like in every like, I mean, we have everything. So, but this is where my creativity will come in. I will think of my podcast name probably while I have a little, CBD oil. I mean, like this is what's happening to our world right now. It's great.
The content ideas are just all around you when you walk out of the house. Let's say you had to go on a long road trip from LA. What part of LA do you live in?
So I'm in like West Hollywood, so very central.
Let's say you had to go from West Hollywood to Omaha, Nebraska, and you have to bring 3 people with you on this journey. Who are they? And they can't be family members.
Oh my goodness. And why am I going to Nebraska, by the way?
Because I said so.
Okay.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Right. You are absolutely right. So the problem is I have so many of these friends that are all in the same group. So if I choose one, the others are going to be very upset. But here, I think
maybe just cut them all out and choose celebrities or something.
Yeah, probably even better. But no, I think I would choose a friend in each category. One that like knows all of the pit stops along the way that could like make it super fun. So I don't feel like anxiety. Like one that just like, because when we take these road trips and in LA, we take road trips like every other weekend we're going somewhere. Like Palm Springs, Joshua Tree, wherever. So I think my friend Amber, because she's so well traveled and she just knows like all these like fun little stops and loves to like pull over and just like try something new. So I think my friend Amber.
Love it. Hi, Amber.
My 2 other friends, I'm trying to think like who else I would choose. Cause God, I have a group of like 10. So it's real hard. I would choose also maybe my friend that's like very spiritual too. Cause I think like out of that, we would get some like spirituality on the way to like, mix in with the fun. Mm-hmm. I can't name names because I feel like they're going to be insulted.
Hey, listen.
Can I just go with Amber for now?
I didn't come here to throw softballs all day,
And then I think my last friend, though, would be someone I just have like a blast with. So one of my best friends, Jennifer, who we went to Spain together and we were like twinsies there. And she actually has 2 kids, but she is just like a ball of fun. And I think we would have a blast.
All right. Amber, Jennifer, and other. That's what we're going with?
Yeah, because that other is going to be like 10 of my friends.
Right. Whoever the best friend is, what 3 words would they use to describe you?
Unicorn. No, I think,
sure.
I would say fun loving. I would say sassy in the best way possible. Sure. And I would say empathetic.
Great. Those are all, good qualities. Same friend. Let's have her or he finish the sentence. I love Harmonie. She's the greatest, but I wish she were a little less blank.
God, a little less. I would say maybe a little less aggressive at certain times. Like I always give my opinion, so that's something I had to like step down from a little bit. Not judgmental, just more aggressive. Like I just jump in, because that's my personality. And
is that something that you wish that you like? You say something, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have jumped in on that time, or you're like, whatever, this is.
You know what? I like own it. It's like who I am. And I think that's really brought me to where I am as well. But yeah, there are a couple of times where like, ooh, I should have thought about what I said.
Right.
Maybe it was the delivery, but I always come from an honest, true place. So that I say I really do value.
Cool.
So less aggressive.
If you won the lottery tomorrow, what are 3 things that you know for sure you would do with the money?
Oh my God, I need to win the lottery. Okay, so I would say, I would definitely move my parents out to California. because they are such New Yorkers and they want to stay there. But I would buy them a place in California so they can be in both.
Nice.
I would 100% start my own foundation, my own platform for women to help empower women of all ages, of different stages that they are entering. So I would set up like workshops and seminars and retreats. I really want to get into like the retreat end of things where I give these women experiences. So sort of like events, but like on the retreat end, which is very big in LA, to really like tap into like who they are and living their purpose. So that would be a foundation that I would 100% set up. And then I think the other would be to have some vacation homes all over the world so I can go travel more, because the one thing I'm missing in my life right now, I think, as you know, as an entrepreneur, you're starting all these things, is to be able to kind of like travel to new places and really get into somebody else's culture, which I think helps you with what you're doing in your own right. So I would say all of those things.
Sounds good. Good luck. I hope you pull it off.
I hope I win.
What is something that you got in trouble for when you were a kid?
Oh, God. Talking. I got in trouble for talking pretty much every single class.
Like in school, you were always...
So my teachers, the one thing on my report cards or teacher conferences, my mom will tell me to this day, she's so smart. Like she's such a, if she just stops talking so much, she'd be A++. Meanwhile, I was like A-, B+.
Good enough.
Good enough. What do you mean? I'm having a ball. Also, one other thing I did, I got caught for shoplifting at 17 because my friend dared me to steal a wallet from Filene's basement. And it wasn't about getting the thing, but it was because she dared me. I couldn't turn it down.
And all right, so what was your approach, and at what point in the process did you get caught? Did they find you putting it in your pocket when you walked out? Was there an alarm? What happened?
So they saw it on the video camera. So they waited until I walked out of the store. Doesn't that suck? Like I walked out of the store, I already had it in my purse. And then they stopped me. They're like, what's in your purse? I'm like, nothing. And they're like, and then because my friend dared me, but I will never forget the look my mom gave me when she came down. And I was 17 or 16, so I didn't get a record, but she like punched me in the arm. And that punch was so hard that I was like, I will never do that again.
I can't believe that there are actually people watching the cameras of like a huge store like that, like looking for, I don't know. That seems...
Filene's basement, I guess it's like a hot ticket item to steal. I don't know.
I guess, those wallets. Big time.
Oh, it was a wallet and a bra. Forgot the bra. Yeah.
That makes a little more sense then. I don't know why, but it just does. If you could have personally witnessed an event in history, what would you want to have seen?
Well, I don't think I'd want to see any wars, to be quite honest, or any like crazy events. And that I think actually would be meeting somebody that was historic.
Okay.
For me, I think it'd be more that than an event. So I think it'd be like if I'd love to meet Gandhi. Really, because I think it's like that old, that sort of like inspirational, transformative way of leading from the heart space with no violence, and where we are today with everybody being violent and what's going on, and what he did as a movement and try to inspire people not to be violent and to solve conflicts from the heart and with love. So I think we need him now.
He would probably tell you to breathe.
Yeah, he would tell me to breathe and meditate.
Yes, absolutely. What's a skill that you want to acquire in the next 40 years of life besides breath work and meditation?
Oh, God. Cook.
That's a great one.
I know cook.
You don't do it at all?
I know. I do. I put things together like a great succotash. Like I could throw seasonings together with like chicken and eggs. I make great omelets. But I don't know how to really cook. So I think it'd be to cook. Yeah. Because I don't want my kids, like when I have them, to grow up and be like, oh, my mom can't cook.
Right. So I make food often, but I don't know if it's like cooking.
Right. So that I can make food, yeah.
Right.
But also being on the go so much, I don't want to cook just for myself. I think that's what it is. So it'd be learning to cook probably when I have a family.
That's I'm glad you brought that up. Like, do you feel pressure to, at this time of life, to get married or to have kids? Because you mentioned having a family.
Yeah. So of course, like society, right? I'm 41. I'm sort of obviously in the later part of the years of people that got married. All the girls I know from New York got married at 25,
right.
27. LA is a little different, Chris, as you know, you could probably tell. We're well, first of all, like all of social media has like killed the organic way of meeting. Like I'd meet someone in the Hamptons, I'd be like, oh, I'm getting married to him. This is like my life. This is it. But out here, you know, obviously with all these apps, it's just very difficult. There's so many options. And I really feel like I waited this long because I did not want to settle. That's how I felt.
Sure.
And I'm looking for something very specific. And as you know, turning this age, you're just so much more in tune with what you want.
Definitely.
So the pressure is, yeah, I'm 41, I'm a woman. If I don't have a child soon, it's a real thing. You know, I have to freeze my eggs and all. I mean, this is like as real as it gets, which is why I want to talk to other women that are like this in this stage. But I never regretted not getting married before because I always knew that I wasn't ready until now.
So you feel that you're ready now if that person comes along.
I am so ready. I've never said I was ready till this year. So isn't that a cool thing?
Yeah.
Like at 41, I was never ready before because I had so much I wanted to like discover about myself and do. And I think I couldn't give somebody everything that I wanted to give because I wasn't like full within. So I think for me, it was really finding out more about myself in order to give to somebody else. So now, of course, my list is like so long, just kidding. But it's true. Like I'm looking for the unicorn man, the uniman. What is it called? So if you know him, you know, but really I'm just not going to settle. So if I don't get married for 3 years, I don't get married for 3 years, but there is that pressure of having to have a child, of course. And I don't want to just have a child to have a child as I'm sure it's very hard work, right?
I've heard. Yeah. I mean, I have it down pat, no problem. But yeah,
for wife partners, and I want a partner. I don't want someone just to have a child.
For mere mortals, I hear it is difficult. But
so cute.
Looking back, what is something that your parents did really well?
They always taught me to be who I am. They always taught me no matter what to do, whatever I do in life, to be true to who I am. And that's really something that I value and take with me every single day. When, as you know, as an entrepreneur, like things get hard as F-U-C-K. Like, I mean, there are times I want to give up every single day. Like I'm in my own entity, sitting in my pajamas on my computer. I'm like, shit, I need to be out at an office. Like it's just hard, right? You're with yourself. But they always said, like, just be who you are because you're strong enough to get through anything. And that's kind of what I feel they always instilled in me. And it's funny, like I went on a date like the other night. I don't remember, like this guy was just like, you're like strong, like cool. Like, it's really sexy. I'm like, yeah, I'm like too strong sometimes. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want to be this strong.
Right.
But it's something they really did teach me because all you have at the end of the day is yourself.
What are you afraid of?
Everything. No. You know, I'm afraid of, to be honest, like this is as real as it gets. I'm afraid of growing older without doing everything I want to do in this life. Age, it's funny because age is something, I don't think anybody knows this about me, which is cool, but age is something that's always scared me.
Okay.
When I was a little girl, I saw La Bamba, the movie. And when Richie Valens dies in the plane crash, I thought that's how I was going to die. This is the craziest thing. And because of that, I was always scared of death and then growing old. So it's really a weird thing that I'm kind of like, now that I see so much death around at all these things happening to people, I'm like, it's so short. You just have to do everything you can right now. I never felt like that before.
Right. So if you're a person who's interested, which I think you are, then like at some point you're not going to get to everything on the list. Like I've come to terms with this. Like I have a list of 1,000 books I want to read, and I want to visit every city in the world. And like at some point you just have to decide and like what's really important.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've done so much. I feel like.
Yeah, but I still feel like I like there's so much I want to do and there's so much I want to experience with take my kids to go see the world and all the
Right.
At some point it's like it's hard.
I mean, they say our to-do list never ends.
Right.
So our to-do list and our bucket list never ends. So I think it's more for me, yes, and I think it's actually becoming happy with every stage that you're at. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really the key to the quality that you want to live your life.
What would you eat for your last meal?
Oh my goodness. I would have, I would probably have waffles with ice cream. I'm like a carb fiend.
Mm-hmm.
I go more for that than like the meals, or it'd be pizza and French fries if I'm going that route. But I would say waffles with like ice cream, whipped cream, and fudge.
Well, you could have all of the above. This is your last meal. I'm not.
I'm gonna have both: pizza, French fries, and then the waffle with ice cream and whipped cream.
What flavor ice cream?
I like coffee, vanilla, so I like both combined. I like to mix things.
Mm-hmm. Just throw everything on one plate: the pizza, the ice cream, the waffles.
Good at mixing things. I like putting everything together.
Then you put some spices on it. It's like you cooked it yourself.
Exactly. I cooked it myself.
If you had to live outside of North America permanently, where would you choose?
Oh, I would probably live in Spain. I love Spain so much. I love the culture. I love eating late. I love the siestas. People are lovers. They're like making out in the cobblestone streets. I mean, just get me there.
It's the best. What part of Spain? What city?
Well, I love Sevilla and Mallorca, of course, like to be like on island way. But I think Madrid is my favorite just because it reminds me a little bit of New York and like city life.
Yeah.
And then you also could just travel wherever you want. Because I don't know how bored I would be like on an island for the rest of I mean, I guess not, but I kind of need that excitement.
Some energy, yeah.
So I would say Madrid, probably.
Why not Barcelona? It's got the beach life and the city life, right, like in the same place combined.
I like Barcelona because I've been twice, but I just thought it was more like a melting pot. Like I thought it was a little touristy.
Yeah, it is.
Madrid, I felt like I can live there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. What is a quirk of yours that few people know about?
I have a lot, Chris. Okay, but I will say, you know what? It's funny because I actually have my coffee so. You see how much is here? Like, you see how much I drank? It's like this much right here.
Yeah, for those not watching on video, the coffee is about 3/4 filled. Starbucks. Right. Yeah.
3/4 filled, not drank, right? So I literally save half of my coffee every day and put it back in the fridge and literally sip on it for like 3 days. Like I save half of everything. So I cut a banana, I save half of it, I only eat half. I have a soda or whatever, like a club soda, and I put half of it back. Because when I'm a little girl, my mom told me never to waste anything. And she would always have halves of everything. But I opened my fridge the other day and I have 6 iced coffees in my fridge.
So you buy more without going back?
It's ridiculous. Like I just do it for I like walking my dog to Starbucks because it's on the corner. That's why I go to Starbucks. Otherwise I'd go probably somewhere else. But I walk her there and I get another coffee and then I drink half of it and that's it. And then I put it in the fridge. And then I opened my fridge this morning. I have 6 coffees in there. It's a thing. I don't know.
We need to change this simply for the plastic waste.
You're right.
Way too much plastic. Can you?
And then I was actually taking the plastic and getting it refilled, which was really responsible of me. But then I went back to saving grass. So
when you went to get it refilled, were you walking in with half of it full and you said, "Can I have a half a coffee, please?"
Yeah, no, I poured it out and then went in and got the rest.
So now you're just wasting the coffee. No, we have to fix this.
I know. I'm trying to get better.
So the answer is get your own coffee cup that's not made out of plastic.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Put that back in the fridge, and then when you won't go and buy new ones because you say I'll only fill up this one when it's empty.
That's an amazing idea. See, do you know how much I'm learning on this podcast now?
I'm going to start charging for this for guests to come on in.
It's like we offer information, but you're offering the information, and it's all synergetic.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Let's see right now. I mean, it's so crazy because I see so many here, and so it doesn't even faze me anymore. But I still feel like Justin Timberlake is my number one always because it's just the talent. It's just everything he has is just the swag and the talent, and he's cute and just all of that. So I just pretend like he's not married.
That's a good one. Yeah. If you could have a drink with a fictional character, who would it be?
Oh my God, fictional. So many. I would say Cinderella. I was going to say Cinda fucking around because they're just a pretty woman. But I would because I'd be like, how do I get my Prince Charming from just losing a glass slipper? And how does it happen so quickly?
So you'd want some tips from Cinderella. So, hey, how do I do this?
She's drunk, too.
Right. Go have a couple drinks, get her a little sauced up, and then get all her secrets.
What was in that slipper?
You'll be married the next day, probably.
Yeah, exactly.
If you could relive a single day from your past, exactly as it happened the first time, what would you want to experience again?
Oh my God, that's. I don't know if I have like a single day. Let me think.
It could be an event, the unicorn party.
The unicorn party! I would relive every day of my life. Actually, I think it would be. So I planned my first huge fashion show event at Show. Was it called Show? What, in New York? Was it called Show? Was there it was like a club. Was it called Show?
I mean, we ran through a lot of clubs in our day back in New York. That does sound like the name of something back then, but where was it? Do you remember?
It was right when I graduated, I think, college, and I did this crazy fashion show for that benefited Susan G. Komen Fund for breast cancer. And it was like 500 people, and it was my first big event. I don't even know how I pulled it off. And I remember like taking a bow after and thinking to myself, wow, like that is the first time that I felt like, no, I could do this. Like, this is it. Like, I could do anything. And I think that feeling, because you're so fearless at that age, you need to take in to your entire life.
Totally.
And you forget what that feels like.
Yeah, that would be a good one. I like that one.
That was a good. I got to remember that club. I'm plugging in yet. I got to remember what that was. I thought it was Show.
It could be. I mean, that does sound vaguely familiar.
But it was like a major one. And I can't even believe he like rented me the club. But it was, it was crazy. It was nutty. But I did it. So, the things that we think that we can't accomplish, it's like you just make one small baby step and then take the next step and the next step. It's kind of what you were saying to me with the podcast. Just start. Do it on your phone. We could do anything.
Got to start. Can't do anything without starting something. Yep. What is a great compliment that you've received that has really stuck with you?
Let's see. That's a great question. I would say it would definitely be not an outer quality, be an inner quality. Recently when I was at an event and I was speaking, and this person who didn't even know me just said, your energy lights up a room and just makes me want to be better. And I think that is I started crying. I mean, that was the best compliment, to know that you have an effect on other people's, way of being. I mean, that's the best. I think any compliment you get should be should be in some way affecting somebody else.
What topic were you speaking on?
So I was doing a female empowerment series. So we were interviewing female entrepreneurs that were just getting started in their careers and taking that first step to launch their business.
Perfect. It's perfect practice for the upcoming podcast.
Yeah.
So you wanted to do you requested a little speed round, or you called it a fire round. So the next handful of questions are going to be quickies. All right. Favorite movie, comedy.
Oh my God. Wait, my favorite movie is Pretty Woman.
Okay.
Comedy. Oh my God, I don't know. Comedy.
I'll accept Pretty Woman.
Okay, Pretty Woman.
What was the first car you ever owned?
A Honda Civic.
What color? What color was it?
I totaled it, by the way.
Of course. What color was it?
It was black, and then I had to get a new one, so it was white.
What is something that you own under $100 that is a must-have you can't live without?
Oh my God. I would say like half of my earrings. I just love fun accessories, and they're all under $100. Every single one. And I'm an accessory whore. Like, I wear literally I have accessories on me all the time.
Yep. Love that. I love that. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Do I even have one? I would say Around the Way Girl by LL Cool J.
Oh yeah, look at you.
I love LL. I'm obsessed with him still. And it's funny because now he's on that karaoke show, so that's his show.
The lip sync battle. Yeah.
Kind of funny.
Yeah. All right. Good job. Killed it there. What is something that all 40-year-olds should do or try ASAP? A call to action for our peers.
Oh, I would say start whatever they're passionate about. Like whatever they've been thinking about doing, like that first step. That, because I will say in my 20s, I procrastinated a little bit where I'm like, I have so much time. So I would say whatever you're passionate about or whatever hobby you have or something you wanted to learn, teach, educate on, whatever that is, go take that first step today. Today. No day like today, like rent.
Like they shouldn't even hear the next question and answer because they've already started. They just dropped their headphones and they just ran off to go do. Yes.
Like me being on this podcast is making me start mine.
There you go.
Yeah. You just inspired me.
Glad I could help. If you could work for any person in the world, who would it be and what job would you want?
Oh, I'd work for Oprah. 100%. And I wouldn't do something for her. I would create content with her. So she does Super Soul Sundays, which is my favorite show in the whole world, where she interviews gurus in that personal growth space and authors and obviously anybody that's like at that level in their career. And I would work with her. I think for the younger generation too, that's like not so well versed in the personal growth space, because I'm obsessed with that space and it's changed my whole life. And I would create content for her. The OWN network is here.
Is it? I know. I'm sure Oprah listens to this podcast. So Oprah, reach out.
Exactly. Like Oprah, hello. And she's tapping more and more into different types of media. So awesome. You never know.
All right. If you were hosting this podcast, what is a question that you would want to ask other 40-year-olds?
What their purpose is. What their sole purpose is in life. And if they don't know it, what they think it might be. Because this is the question that when I went to something, somebody asked me, and I said, well, what if you don't know your full purpose? And he stared at me, this man, Coot Blackson. He's like an amazing man. If everybody could follow him, please follow him.
What's his name?
Coot Blackson, Kute, Blackson, Blackson. So Oprah has interviewed him many times. He is literally that man, Chris, that's like, start now. Like, he is a transformational, magical man. And I do not say this about many people, but he looked me straight in the eye because I did a seminar with him. And he just said, oh, you know what your purpose is. You have to take one step toward it, then the next step. And I'm like, oh, what if I don't know? And I just sat there and I'm like, oh, I know. It's really to help and inspire other people in no matter what facet that is. I have to go in that direction and to do that. And that's why I'm going back into my real passion, which is hosting and speaking, to help other people. While
inspiring, right? Using that channel as a way to help inspire other people.
This is what you're doing too right now. Because I was so excited to talk to you too, because I will say, if you weren't asking me these questions, it's like igniting something in me that's so exciting because I get to talk about this, but who would really ask me these questions otherwise? Mm-hmm. It's very interesting because you're getting to really show a part of yourself that you already know, but you get to expand upon it. And then it makes you go out and do something kick-ass.
Well, getting the questions asked makes you actually think. Like you have these passing thoughts, but when somebody's pointing at you and saying, hey, what about this? Then you're like, oh, wait a minute, I need to think about this a little deeper.
Exactly. So back to that, I would say, don't wait. Whatever you want to do or whatever your hobby is or passion is, go do something that is working toward that. No, don't quit your job if you can't. But if you want to be a karate teacher, go take a class where you start to learn karate. Don't just say, I don't have time. I can't do this. And that's the other thing. Kids or no kids, wife, husband, whatever it is, you always have time to work on your craft, no matter what. If it's 5 minutes or if it's 5 hours, you have time.
This goes back to what we said earlier. You don't need more time. You need to decide.
Exactly.
That's it.
You need to decide what's important.
We've reached the final question here. Just flew by.
I'm so sad about this. I want to do 2 more hours now. People are like, okay, now.
What song did you choose to play us out of here today, and why did you choose it?
Chris, this was my hardest question because I want to go into the hip hop, all of the hip hop themes, because that's who I am. And in my past life, I definitely was a hip hop artist, by the way. But I will say, I think it's Closing Time because there's one line in there, as we know. It was when all the bars closed at the end of the night. Obviously, it was closing time, but it was every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. And that is something that's been so poignant for me, whether it's a relationship or an end to a career like move that I made that I want to start something new. So I think it's like that line more than the song is kind of how I want to live, right? So it's every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So no ending is sad. It's all happening.
New opportunity. Every ending is a new opportunity for something else.
Because your life is really designed for you, and that's the way the universe really operates, that way that everything is happening to you and for you. So you just have to trust, which is what I would say. So trust is hard because I'm not as patient as most people. So namaste, because that's why I got a meditation cushion.
Breathe, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Where can people...
No edibles, by
definitely
the way.
not. Where can people find you and say hello?
They could find me on Instagram. It's at Harmonie Krieger, or my company is at Pop Your Shop. It's just Pop, YOUR Shop. But Harmonie Krieger I pretty much use the most. You can DM me as long as it's not crazy, lewd images, which I just decline anyway. No, it depends who it is. I'm not going to lie. I don't decline them all.
That would be silly.
Single, you know. But yeah, I mean, and then Facebook, of course, just Harmonie Krieger, and just reach out. I love when people just reach out and just say hi, any questions or like anything that they're fearful on. I just love giving advice. And I thank you so much, Chris, because like, honestly, it's like so freaking cool that I've known you for this long, but we do need to plan a little Hamptons. I don't know if we bring the kids, but maybe the kids are like, we get the babysitter for your kids, and then all the adults kind of like play for a night.
Yeah, definitely babysitter night.
Party bus?
Listen, it's been done before. I had, not so long ago, I had a roller skating party and got a school bus to take everyone to a roller skating rink. I was like, I guess it was long ago now, probably like 6-7 years, but.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we kind of need a reunion.
Listen, we always need a reunion.
I know.
Thanks
I'm so
for
proud of you, and I love what you're doing.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me. I'm glad we did this.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to Harmonie today and myself, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.